Hello and welcome back to Mother Tongue, your eyes, ears and finger on the pulse for all parents around the world. Let's get going, shall we? So this is the last episode of season 13. I can't actually believe it.
That's madness.
How mad is that? And I think
season 13.
And this was 20 episodes this season. 20.
You've been a busy bee, hun.
20 episodes all on pregnancy.
Cooking that little boy and recording away. Good heavens.
I know it's been a wild ride, and I feel like it's the perfect way to end it. Number one, having you back.
Oh, thank you.
You've been with us from the beginning.
Yes.
And two, finishing with the birth of baby Rocco.
Whilst he's there cuddling in your arms.
Yeah, let's see how long he stays silent for.
Yes.
I feel like he's going to wake up for some milk in a moment.
Well, he does need a little bit of a moment during this episode.
Yeah, he does.
You've got to give him that.
To be fair, he's not had a feed for 2 hours, so he'll be up with a vengeance soon. I know. He'll be wide awake. What are you talking about me for? Hello. So I feel like it's the perfect way to end. And
there's so much to say.
Well, there is so much to say. And I've just really hope that I remember it all, because there's actually a photo. I'll show it to you after we finish recording, of me being past Rocco when he first came out, and the look on my face is pure shock. I'm literally like, what the fuck just happened? I'm still to this day a bit like, what the fuck just happened? And I just really wish I remember more about all of it. It happened almost so quickly that I can't really remember, like, silly things. Like, I can't remember what music was playing. I mean, we had Elton John on for a good 4 hours, so it was definitely an Elton John song, but I can't remember which one. I really hope it was a good one.
But you know what? You're not in the minority.
No.
This is the majority.
I feel like this is true.
There is so much going on. I think we as women, moms, put so much pressure on ourselves to be so present.
Yeah.
In amongst the chaos and the intensity of the moment. And then, you look back and you're like, I was trying to be as present as I could, yet I still don't remember the majority of the birth.
It just happened so quickly. And I feel like your body does do that. I mean...
Absolutely.
Your body just tries to make you forget it, because...
So you'd keep going.
So you keep going. And it's so true, because I remember whilst I was in the midst of the never-ending contractions, I was literally like... fuck, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
This is so awful. It is so bad. I've never been in so much pain in my life. I can't believe how people can breathe through this. I was literally like, this is just hell. And then now I'm like,
Adam, I'll have another one.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I actually genuinely would have a fourth, but I don't think I could do the pregnancy again. I genuinely think the first bit of pregnancy almost killed me.
Now, it's already, it's recorded. You remember I told you that I was on a flight recently and I listened to the episode where I think we spoke to Millie McIntosh, and you on air said, no, definitely not having a third. I'm done. Isla is my last, and here we are. And you've said it again. So I feel like you've only done it to yourself.
I know.
Give it a year or two and there'll be another.
No, Adam's got to go for the snip. I can't get into a situation again where I'm like, could I, couldn't I?
I think he'll probably take that out of your hands.
I hope so, because as much as a fourth would be lovely, I think a fourth is pushing it too far from a financial standpoint, from just the life standpoint. And I think 3 is manageable. 4... it's a handful. My dad's one of 4, and I mean, it always looked so fun having a big family, and I love the fact that they had a big family because we got loads of cousins, and I'm forever really grateful for that. But I just think as parents, having to look after 4 children, and that's a 4 children, realistically over an 8 to 10 year age gap.
Yeah,
that is a massive age gap. I mean, even thinking that when this little nugget is 2, Rafa's going to be 6. That is still. A 6-year-old's knees are so different to a 2-year-old.
They are. And I think you feel it now in these early years. But for example, I've got my eldest brother is 5 years, and then the next one is 3 years older than me. And I'm super close to my eldest brother, to both of them, but I'm just pointing out the 5-year age gap.
Yeah.
There seems nothing between us now.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's why I do think you have to think long term.
Yes.
About the age gap.
That's true. And I guess when they're all teenagers, again, the age gap probably seems a little smaller. When they all get into their 20s, probably even smaller again. And now I'm guessing you're all in your 30s.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, this is true.
It's lovely. Everyone's so close, but we're skipping ahead too much. We're trying to wish the years away, and the kids are going to be in their 30s. No, let's rewind. So, where are we going to start from? Maybe the weeks leading up to him coming.
I feel like that is probably a good place to start, because this is genuinely when I was literally like, I feel like the beginning of pregnancy for 17 weeks was hell. It was horrid.
It's a long old slog to 17 weeks to feel rough.
It really was. And I feel like it gets worse every pregnancy. And so God knows if I spin the wheel again, how bad it would be. And the last month was really bad. I had influenza, then I got bronchitis, then I got piles. Then it was Christmas.
I'm not laughing at you, Piles. It was more you laughing.
The piles was pretty bloody dire. And then it was Christmas, and I was convinced that he was going to come over Christmas. And so Christmas was great, but there was that like underlying like tinge of anxiety that he was going to come and ruin my Christmas day. Thank God he didn't. But then after Christmas, it was literally like, right, okay, come on now, let's get you moving. And I think I had one night, it was actually, I remember it vividly, it was the day after my birthday, so 17th of December. I'd had a sweep by this point. I had one sweep, and I had contractions all evening. They were like mild. I could feel them, so they definitely weren't Braxton Hicks. And I was like, this is it. I'm going to have a baby before Christmas. I'm making like a cranberry brie and turkey sandwich downstairs from the leftovers of the Christmas dinner we'd had the weekend before, and bouncing on my ball. And then I was like, you know what? I'm really tired. If it's meant to be, it will come. Just go to sleep. And obviously it didn't come. And so from that moment onwards, I was like, he's coming.
Yeah,
he's
you were preempting his arrival.
Imminent.
Oh. Imminent.
Oh,
gosh. Quickly move on.
Imminent. Imminent.
Oh my God.
Imminent.
You've gone too far now. Neither of us are going to be able to. Imminent.
Well done, darling. Thank you.
I think so anyway.
Thank you for doing that for us. But yeah, then we went to Expo, didn't we? On the 22nd of December. I walked so much that day. I was literally like, okay, he's got to come tonight. He's got to. I was exhausted. I was like, I can feel he's definitely down there. Went to the doctor the next day. They were like, no.
Closed.
Yeah, well, I was 1 centimetre dilated and my cervix was open, but it was still long, not soft, which, these are words that I've heard forever and ever and ever. And I was literally like, holy shit, like, I mean, I know it could all change in a moment, but I was like, it's not looking likely. So the weeks before, so post-Christmas, I mean, I must have gone for a sweep every other day. I think I had 7 in total.
I can't believe you'd had a sweep on the 17th. When you just said that, then I was just calculating when he actually arrived, and I was like, that's mad.
I know. I had 7
sweeps.
7 sweeps. In total.
Oh my God.
7 sweeps.
I saw you coming every other day.
Literally.
Here she comes again.
Literally. They were like, oh, you're back. I was like, yeah, I am back. So today she told me it was okay to come back. So here I am. I'm here. Sweep me. But yeah, I went for 7 sweeps and I did it all again. I mean, to be fair, I did a couple of rounds of reflexology. It didn't work. And then I ended up just doing like nice massages because I was like, you know what, just relax these last few weeks. Do all the things that make you feel happy about life. I didn't do any acupuncture this time, but some of the really great things that I did / not so great. You just hit your head, darling. Right, let's bring you up here. One of the things that I bumped into a neighbour of mine, and she was like, on the day that my daughter arrived, I drank a very concentrated infusion of raspberry leaf tea. I put 20 tea bags in a litre of water, stewed it for an hour and then drank it and then went into labour. I did that 3 times.
Do you remember I came over and you'd got all those tea bags in the saucepan?
It was disgusting. It was so disgusting.
But you forced it down.
But I did. I did all the sniffing of the clary sage to the point where I think it gave my husband allergies. Oh. I remember we woke up one morning, his whole face was like swollen, and he was like, why am I so swollen? What is that smell? And I was like...
Not me, hun.
Not me.
Did you do the spice?
Like spicy food?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did all of that.
You did the dates?
I did not so much really. The dates. But I also got the breast pump out at one point.
Oh, yeah?
Started pumping for a bit of, like, nipple stimulation. Yeah. Tried to get some colostrum. That didn't work. That was a massive fail. So yeah, no, we did it all. Nothing really worked, to be honest. And then 5 days past my due date. So we actually obviously saw each other that morning. I went for a sweep and then I went to meet Ellis at the beach and we took the kids for a walk. I mean, when we say a walk, the kids...
They were scooting miles ahead. If anything, they were the ones pushing you to walk further.
True. But we probably did a kilometre with them. We probably did a kilometre ourselves anyway. And then it was actually my step-granny. She messaged me and she was like, do you want to come up for dinner tomorrow night? And I was like, if I still don't have the baby, yeah, we'll come. She was like, just go and have a spicy curry and have 2 gins. You'll be fine. So I didn't do the spicy curry, but I came home and that afternoon I had 2 gins. And I started going to labour that night. And actually at lunchtime, I had a head massage. I feel like that did something for sure. But yeah, I woke up at midnight, which again, I feel like I love that all these babies are born in the middle of the night when really you need to sleep during the night and have babies during the day. But anyway, I woke up at midnight and I was like, oh, this is a contraction. I had a few and I was like, right, I'll start timing them. And they were about 10 minutes apart, quite consistently 10 minutes apart. And I was like, well, this is a good sign. So
were you using your Freya app?
I was using my Freya app. The Freya app is so good. And then I got into the bath.
Did you wake your husband up?
No, at this point I didn't.
I was surprised at that, by the way.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
I feel like when you're waiting for the inevitable to happen, you actually start to believe the inevitable won't happen and the baby won't ever come out, which I know is...
And he'll just live there forever.
Physiologically not possible. But I genuinely thought that they would have to intervene in some way, shape or form to get him out. And I know that's really stupid, but I'd kind of got it into my head that it was just not going to happen naturally or normally. So
you were in the shower. It's past midnight.
Bath.
You went into the bath.
I went into the bath, had a long bath, poured some clary sage all into the bath, and sat there, washed my hair, and then by the time I got out, I was still timing the contractions, and they were about 5 minutes apart. Some were 4 minutes, most were 5 minutes.
Love how fresh you are at this point.
Well, I was kind of a bit like, you haven't washed your hair for a few days. I had a head massage in the middle of the day, so my hair was greasy. So I was like, no.
Slick back look.
Exactly. I was like, you want to be fresh to meet the baby. Ovs. So I think then about 2:00, I woke up Adam. I was like, they were about 4 minutes apart. And I was like, I think I'm in labour. He was like, oh. I was like, yeah, are you ready? Like, have you got some stuff sorted? He was like, no. I was like, cool beans.
Classic.
I was like, to be fair, you don't need anything. You don't need to pack a bag because you're not going to stay. Like, just get a few, bits.
Essentials, snacks.
Yeah. Anyway, he starts, obviously, he was like, do we need the passports? I was like, I have no idea. He was like, okay. He then couldn't find the passports. He then put the passports down, couldn't find where he put the passports. I was like, we need to, he went into proper panic mode.
Shocked at this. I am shocked. Why were all the documents not already in the bag? This was the 3rd time you were in this situation.
I think he, again, was also in denial. He was like, I don't understand. It's the middle of the night. Why is the baby coming now? I was like, well, the baby's decided that the baby wants to come now. So
my goodness.
This is what's happening. Anyway, I was
like... So chop, hun.
Yeah, hurry up. I was like, can you go and get our nanny, please wake her up and just ask her if she can come in? And I'd asked her to make up the spare room days ago just to, just in case. She hadn't done that, so that was her own fault. I don't know what she did, to be honest. And then yeah, we went to hospital. We got there at about 3, I think. They checked me and they were like, yeah, you're 5 centimetres dilated and your cervix is soft. And I was like, these are words that bring music to my ears. And then the realisation started to kick in that actually...
this is going to happen.
Yeah, baby's coming today, hopefully today. So that was quite exciting at that point. And I was like, they were like, do you want anything? The contractions had kind of ramped up a little bit. I was like, do you know what I'd love? They'd given me some pethidine with Isla. It's like an injection.
In the thigh?
No, they put it in my arm.
Okay.
Sorry, honey. And that was great. So they gave me the pethidine. I was then as high as a kite in my own little bubble. I had my TENS machine, which, by the way, was the bloody best
I've never
thing.
used one.
Oh, my God, I loved it. With Ida as well.
How do you describe it, the sensation?
It sends electric vibrations through your back. And it's just...
takes the edge off.
It takes the edge off.
Yeah.
it makes you think it makes you think that the pain is somewhere else, but it's
Elsewhere.
like a tingling, not like a pain. So for me, it helped really, like loads. They also gave me gas and air, and then Adam ordered a coffee. He went to sleep. I watched Friends and kind of like dozed in and out. It was just lovely.
I mean, it sounds pretty dreamy at this moment.
All the lights were off. Adam had lit some of those electric
LED candles.
Yeah.
Saw that in a photo that he sent us. Very sweet.
I know.
Because you're not allowed real candles.
No, not that right candles. So that was nice. And then they came round at like 7 a.m. They checked me. They were like, yeah, you're still 5 centimetres. You haven't really progressed a lot. Do you want us to break your waters? And at that point I was like, yeah, let's get this show in a row. Because I kind of always knew with Isla, my waters broke before I got any contractions, and my waters breaking, like I progressed not really quickly, but I moved through the centimetres quite fast. And so I kind of had an idea that breaking my waters would bring everything along quite quickly. So I was like, yeah, do it, because I don't want to be here all day. So they broke my waters probably about 7:15. And then things started to ramp up. And this is kind of where things start to get a little hazy. But my contractions got more intense. The pethidine started to wear off, which in hindsight, I should never have had the pethidine as early as I did. I should have waited for later in the game. So tip to anyone out there who's trying to have a natural birth and not have an epidural, wait till you're a bit more dilated to have the pethidine. So as the pethidine kind of started to wear off, Dr. Daisy came in and I was like, can I have some more, please? And she was like, no, you're not allowed any till 10:30. And I was like, it's 7:30. Like, you can't tell me I can't have any more pethidine until 10:30. I'm so angry.
I'm sure you were shouting at this point.
Well, I was a bit like, what can I have then? And they were like, get in the shower. So I got into the shower, and at this point, they made me take the TENS machine off to get into the shower. And then as soon as I got into the shower, the gas and air ran out, literally, as soon as I got into the shower. And I was literally like this.
What, had you taken the gas and air to the shower with you?
They had like
On a wheelie?
Yeah, exactly.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it was until it ran out. And I was like, this can't be happening. Like, I've got no pain relief here.
Also, weren't you alone?
Adam was with me.
Oh, he was there when you were in the shower?
Yeah, he was there. And I was literally like, this is awful. This is awful. I'm in so much pain. I was literally, at that point, the contractions. So now we're probably at like, I mean, I would say we're getting on close to 9 when I'm getting in the shower. And the pain was so intense. I was literally like, this is not normal. This is not okay. And they were like, it's because you've been snorting too much clary sage. Your uterus is going crazy. I was like, fucking bullshit. I was like, wash it off me then. I'm like scrubbing myself in the shower, like, get the clary sage off me. And yeah, I was like, this can't be. I must be close. I must be close to the end.
Because at that present moment, you'd obviously just been checked and they'd said you were 5-6 centimeters, right?
They said when they broke my waters, I went up to 6 centimeters and got in the shower at 6 centimeters. I then got out the shower finally, and I was like, check me. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm really sorry, you're still only 6 centimeters. I was like, are you fucking joking? I can't be 6 centimeters. This is so painful. I was like, you need to give me more drugs. You have to give me some more drugs. And they were like, what do you want then? I was like, well, what are my options? And they were like, you can have an epidural. I was like, give me the fucking epidural now. And she then said, we can give you some more pethidine. She was like, Dr. Daisy's gone. The doctor on call has said that you're okay to have some more pethidine now. So let's say it's 9 o'clock, maybe just gone 9. And they came in, they gave me the pethidine. And I was like, it's not, how long does it take to work? They're like 20 minutes. I was like, oh my fucking God, I'm dying. And then the urge came to push. And I was like, I'm going to poo myself, guys. I'm going to poo myself. And they were like, you're not going to poo yourself. And I was like, no, I need to push something out. And they were like, you're fine. Nothing's happening. I was like, genuinely. And so my body just took over and I just started pushing. And they were like, stop pushing. And I was like, I can't. And then I could feel his head, or I mean, it was either a really large poo or his head, and I took the initiative that it was his head, and I was like, his head's coming out. They were like, no, it's not. And I was
But
like,
hold on,
check.
paint the picture of where you're stood. Are you sat down? Are you lay down?
I'm sat on the bed, and I'm not even sat in like a very good position.
Like on the side?
I'm kind of like curled up in a ball because I'm in so much fucking pain.
Like a fetal position?
Almost, yeah. Like my legs are kind of like caught up. I think at the point where I pushed, I kind of raised up and like sat on my knees. And I was like, his head's coming out. Anyway, she checked and she was like, oh my God, his head is coming out. I was like, yeah, I know. And then she panicked and she said to Adam, she was like, call the emergency button now. So then Adam panicked. Adam couldn't find the emergency button. He was like, can't see it. Where is it? And I was like, fucking hell, guys. She didn't even have her gloves on. She was like, you need to calm down. I was like, I can't calm down. I'm in like in the middle of like pushing.
To somebody, stop pushing.
Literally.
The body does take over at that point. What do you want me to do? Suck his head back up?
I mean, genuinely, I was like, there's no going back now. And she was like, you're going to tear yourself really badly if you don't, like, calm it down a little bit.
Right, okay. Give the body a little time to,
exactly.
adjust.
So I think at this point, this is where it all kind of gets a bit blurry. I think at this point, they got me on my back. And I can't remember where my legs were. I don't think they were in any form of stirrups or anything. I think I was just on my back, and they were like, right. Daisy then came in when his head was out. And I think Adam said, yeah, you swore quite badly at Daisy. I was like, oh, this is my doctor, by the way. Poor Dr. Daisy. And apparently I just said to her, she was like, are you okay? I was like, get this fucking baby out of me now. And so she came in and she was like, right, one more push and he'll be here. Make it a big one. And the next contraction came and that was it. It slid out. And because Isla was, she got stuck at 9 centimetres for ages and ages and ages, and her shoulder got stuck, and it was a bit of an effort to get her out. And when she came out, they cut the umbilical cord and took her off straight away and gave a little chest massage to get her breathing properly. And because she didn't come out crying. This time he came out and they literally were like, and here's your baby. And I was like,
and then the way that they just pass you the baby, and you're like, oh my goodness.
Literally. And my face is pure like, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? So they passed him over, and then we had proper skin to skin and proper delayed cord clamping, which again, I never really had before. And I don't think I was ever like really adamant that this is what I wanted, but it was so nice. And then Adam cut the cord. They gave me the injection. The placenta took forever to come.
I'm really shocked at this. You
So
remember
am I.
you said it was over an hour?
Yeah,
I'm shocked that it took that long with the injection.
They kept coming back and saying, like tugging on it to see if they could get it to come. And it just wasn't coming at all. And then the thing came out and I was like, holy mother of God.
That is bigger than another child.
That's an alien.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
You had a good look.
Grim. Yeah, well, I said to Adam, I was so the problem is obviously they'd given me the Bethadine, and then he came like 3 minutes later. So by the time the Bethadine kicked in, the baby was here and I was totally out of it. Like, high as a fucking kite.
Oh, that's exactly what Rocco thought of that.
Oh, milk.
Mummy was high as a kite when I came into the world.
Darling. I know.
I told you he'd need his moment during this episode.
Yeah, well. He's like, Mummy, I'm hungry. It's been 2 hours. It's been longer than 2 hours.
Oh, bless him. So the placenta came, and then hopefully you came down from that cloud that you were sat on.
Well, do you know what? I don't really remember coming down.
I reckon we got a photo at 9:45, and Adam said that Rocco was born at 9:15, and I did think, wow, they are on it. It must have been a good birth for them to be taking selfies and sending it to us. And now I understand the full story. You were probably high as a kite when he sent that photo.
Totally. It took me like...
Which that makes me laugh even more.
It took me like an hour to stop the TENS machine from like vibrating on my back. Just left it on. I think I had a nap with it on.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, no, it was full going. But a couple of things that I actually thought were really good. So someone told me before I went in that you can ask not to have the cannula put in, and you don't have to wear it, which is one thing I did. And my God, that made such a difference. Not feeling like I had something hanging out of my
Were you
arm.
also monitored the whole time?
I was monitored the whole time. They wouldn't let me not do that
Okay.
because of the previous C-section, which
Right.
was quite annoying. But it was wireless monitoring, which was great.
Oh, fab.
So I just wore the bands, and then I could roam around the room. So occasionally, like, the bands would fall off or become...
Or they move or... Yeah.
But in a weird way, it was quite reassuring because obviously we could always hear the baby's heart rate, and they were monitoring the contractions. So I was kind of like, it's not making a massive difference to my life. So that was all okay. And actually, the midwives were also great at Parkview. I delivered him at Mediclinic Parkview, and and I think they were, obviously, one of the midwives basically delivered him, and I think she was quite happy. She was like, I'm going to take this one. I was like, well done, you take it. But yeah, I don't really remember leaving the labour ward. I don't, like, they wheelchaired us out.
What, the days after? Oh, sorry. Yes, to go on to the maternity ward.
Yeah. They like, Adam took loads of photos, and none of it.
You remember?
None of it I really remember. I feel like I was so out of it, just obviously like just a general high, but also the team.
You had also been up. You'd not had a full night's sleep.
No.
So you're probably a little bit, sleep deprived. And
yeah, I don't even really remember. Like, I think we ordered sushi straight away, and I don't really remember eating it or anything. Like, I was quite out of it for that day, to be honest. It was just a wild ride, and genuinely, I mean, would I do it all over again? God, I don't know.
Maybe it's a bit early to ask you that, but
maybe it is a bit too early. But it was definitely memorable.
And you came out with it all intact.
Yeah, which still can't believe that. I mean, maybe it was stretched so much from when Isla came out that it was just ready to just pop back out again. Because, yeah, he was a chunk. So he was 4.25 kilos. Isla was 4.4 and Rafa was 4.1. So he was kind of smack bang in the middle. And actually he was smack bang date-wise in the middle of both of them as well. Yeah. Rafa arrived on his due date. Isla was 8 days late. And he was 5 days late, so not quite. But I just feel like maybe I just make big babies, and that is just the fact of life.
I think that is.
And that's that. Which actually, now we're on the other side. As much as I kind of wanted a newborn who scrunched loads.
Oh my gosh, sorry, Marianne. He definitely is scrunched up, like in that nice, cute little newborn bubble.
Not quite as scrunchy as a tiny one.
Oh, look at his little legs, though. They're all curled up. But I know what you mean, because I also have big babies. But they come out really nice and strong.
Exactly. Strong and big tummies.
Yeah.
Which we love a big tum-tum.
And that kind of helps everything, because, he's happy when he's fed and he's full.
Yeah. Sorry,
so
let's bring this over here for a little bit.
And now can you kind of believe that was like 10 days ago?
No, it's wild. It's wild. And actually, now we're back in that kind of newborn phase, which it's hard. Like, there's lots of things that are so lovely about it, but it is a constant juggling act. And you're constantly like, okay, I've got 5 minutes. I must do these certain things. And there's certain things like charge your phone, have a pee, drink a litre of water. Yeah. It's like mundane, simple things.
Your priorities change somewhat.
Totally. And it's like the sense, like, I feel like I've achieved so much if in a day I manage to feed myself proper food, have a coffee, remember to take all my vitamins and like charge my phone, like simple things like that. Yeah. I'm literally like, oh my God, you're literally winning at life. It's amazing how quickly everything can just change. But then one thing I think that comes with being a third time mum is that that it's all just a phase and that everything changes so quickly. So I'm really trying to just embrace.
And there's just not so much pressure on everything.
No.
You don't have that pressure to kind of like go out and meet another new mum for a coffee or something so quickly.
Oh, exactly. I mean,
you're just, far more relaxed. I'd definitely say that about you this time.
Oh, it's been the dream. I've barely left the house. We left the house to go car shopping the other day. This has been the latest saga. And my husband's now, literally all he talks about is cars. He's like, okay, I've been to see this one. We test drove one yesterday. It came home with us for 24 hours. And now the kids are like, we must get this car. It's so cool, mummy. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Boys and their toys. At least that'll be keeping Rafa entertained.
3 car seats and the car
What did you do about that?
Well, we're doing it now.
Oh, this is it.
We thought that the car would be fine, but now we've actually got 3 in it. It's just
They're not in a row.
they are in a row.
Oh.
But Rafa's on a booster seat.
Right, okay.
Getting the seatbelt into the booster seat with Rafa in it is near impossible because there's 3.
Yeah, you have to fully climb in the back, which is tight.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he could go in the boot of the car,
Yeah.
in the seats that are in the back. But
Does he want to?
with the other 2 car seats in the car, you can barely bring the car seat forward to get him into the back of the car, which we didn't think of. And he could probably sneak through, but he can't belt himself up. And so if you're by yourself, let's say I am with 3 kids, you've got to maneuver the car seat out. You've got to put one kid in the back of the car, which means where does the other kid go when you're putting that kid in the back of the car? So logistically, it's just not, they're not old enough to be responsible enough or old enough to put their seatbelts on or old enough basically to do anything. So as much as I don't want to get rid of my car because I actually genuinely love my car, we just need a bigger car.
It's a work in progress. You're still figuring it out. And also, you're not out and about with Rocco loads. No. So it's not a
massive issue.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to get something with captain seats.
I've heard of these. Are these the ones that all fit in the row?
Well, no, so the captain seats, so the middle, so when you open the door, the seats there, is 2 instead of 3. And there's a gap in the middle.
Yes.
And you walk into 3 seats essentially in the boot.
Okay. I thought that was the brand of car seat that all goes 3 in a row. I don't know what brand that is, but there is supposedly one brand.
Oh, really?
Yes, we will find out and you can link it.
Oh, that's smart.
Alana has them.
Oh.
Yes.
So like maybe I need to ask her.
And you can get the 3 in a row. But that, I mean, to have a runway through the middle that you can kind of walk, I mean, that's a game changer.
Exactly. And you still have the 7 seats.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 in the back as opposed to 2. So it's basically just been switched around.
This is a family bus.
Yeah, it's huge. The one we're looking at is huge.
Do you think you can drive that and reverse? Okay.
I did. I mean, it basically parks itself. The amount of
the
beeps
sensors
and
all of this,
and
fabulous.
I mean, it's hard, it's a bus to park, but yeah, it's doable.
But these cars now, if you get a new car like we've got, you're right. It essentially can a Kia Sorento.
So we looked at a Kia Telluride as well, which also has captain seats.
That's the bigger one.
Yeah. So I don't know. We need to figure that out. But I think Adam's got his heart set on this big bus.
Allow that to be in Adam's hands.
Yeah. Well, exactly. He's asking all these questions. I'm like, I really don't care.
Yeah.
If it fits everyone and it makes my life easier.
Yeah.
That's all I really give a shit about. So there we go. Thank you.
So that's your next chapter, hon? Going out with 3 kids?
I know, hence why 4 is not an option because I'm not going back to the fucking car saga ever again in my life. I just don't think I care enough for it.
When do you think you're going to go out with 3 kids?
Oh, months.
Long time. Months.
I'm not going to put myself through it. I was thinking about the school run the other day because Adam will go back to work next week. His parents will come out, so that will give me another week, which is good. But I was, I'm going to have to take Lisa with me.
Yeah.
Take the nanny.
I see some people at school drop off do it.
Yeah.
You have to be quite army like, I would say.
It's and just with I don't want to take him out of the car every time. So if Adam's paid for something, 5,000 dirhams has just gone off my credit card. Turns out we're getting the car.
Oh.
Sure.
I love these accounts in Dubai. Whenever I tell anyone in the UK that like you get text messages all the time, they're like, what is this?
This is wild. Anyway.
Oh,
so
fun.
yeah, turns out I'm the proud new owner of a new car. Guys, you're first hearing it. It's great. Great way to end off our story today. But yeah, I think this is probably a nice place to stop with our birth story, because actually next season we're going to have a little break to do a season all about relocating to Saudi. So if anyone is thinking about relocating to Saudi or has recently moved to Saudi, we've got a 10-part mini series coming out in the next couple of weeks, which will be all about relocating and life in Saudi Arabia. And then after that, we're going to move into season 14, which is all going to be about the first year of life. So if you are pregnant or have recently had a child, stay listening, subscribe to this podcast, and we will see you back in a couple of weeks. And until then, take care and wish me luck, team, with my new minibus.
She'll be back.
Yeah.